Hello world, it's Eire back again with more Persona 3 Reload. It has been a week since you've last seen anything on this game, but I mean, let's talk for a minute here, you know, let's take some time with this, okay? First off, I want to say, I'm glad that even through all of the issues that happened with the week I'm gone, the whole week where I just posted those videos, I'm glad that even with that, even through all the issues I've had there, like audio in the first one, or the visuals in the Garden Warfare episode, I'm glad that things turned out alright enough to pass as videos that I'm proud of, videos that, like, I am glad I made, especially with live commentary, too, even if it wasn't the best. It gave me a bunch of, different learning experiences, like balancing audio, especially in, like, a live setting, or well, I mean, just remembering to check, if my footage actually looks passable. Yeah, that's the big one. That's a good drink. Anyway, but yeah, I'm glad through all that those videos actually turned out well, and then that people, like, watched them, you know? Thank you, it means a lot. But now we'll get back onto our regularly scheduled, well, unscheduled Persona content. That's right, Persona 3 Reload finally returned. It's been a week, and, you know, we're nearing episode 30. That literally comes out at some point soon.
Very well.
Man. I gotta say, I missed playing this game over the week. I don't know why, but I was, like, always, like, having, like, a little, like, feeling to just play it, you know?
Let's give this our best shot.
Like, I gotta be real, it's hooked its, I don't know, what is it? Yeah, it's sunk its teeth into me. I'm being dragged across the floor, and I'm not going back.
I'll help you check when you get back.
Oh, man.
Please just try to deal with it for now.
Point is, like, I'm glad to be back doing this, and I'm glad to be hooked on such, like, an actually good game, you know? Instead of something that's kind of, like, not up my alley. Man. Man, what is there to really talk about now that we're back? First off, this is the first episode, I think, where I implemented the new rule about theurgies, where I don't use them pretty much at all until I meet a floor boss. That's one thing there. That's a good rule, you know? This is the first episode you're finally seeing that happen, because I got really tired of using theurgies. But also in this, it's a chance for us to level up Junpei a bit, because he did not get any love in the last collection of episodes, because that was Mitsuru's time to shine, but no. I want you! I want you, Junpei! I want you on my team. You do your things, I guess. I don't know. I'm now actually understanding more about Junpei's build, and I'm actually playing more into it now, and I really love it, you know? It just takes a while. And it takes a while to get used to, and it takes a while to, like, really set up and, like, make it work in a way that I'm confident in, you know? Whew. I am a little bit tired because, you know, before this I had work, and then I passed out after work. So I'm kind of, like, waking up still. I've got, like, I poured myself out, like, a Coke in a glass. And I'm just sipping on that to get my little bit of caffeine, you know? I've got energy drinks, but I don't want to destroy myself yet. I think I'll save that for when I'm recording the second episode. Man. My throat's just clogged. So, you know, you may be asking where I went for that, the week I was gone. And, well, I can't talk much about it, you know, I really can't. It's not because I'm, like, under, like, you know, NDA or something, you know, that's impossible. If I had an NDA, you'd know about it. It beats the whole point of it, but, you know, like, it's mainly the fact that, like, I think it's more of, like, a personal, thing, rather than, like, you know, something that needs to be talked about, you know? Nothing bad happened, a lot of great happened, really, a lot of amazing things happened, to be honest. But, like, I don't know. I think that's a little bit too much into my personal life, and definitely into the personal life of the others I was vacationing with. That's really, all I'll say on that. I want to keep some, like, level of privacy, or some level of, like, you know, barrier between, you know, me and the audience, and that's kind of what's going on here. I'm mainly doing it out of, like, respect for, like, you know, it was an everyone's kind of thing, you know? I can't be talking about everyone's if it was, you know, like, yeah, you get the point. But seriously, that was a fun, like, it was a fun trip. It was an awesome vacation. I loved every single bit of it. And I'm so glad I could rush out some videos before then to make and to put up, so that way nobody felt bored during the break. Even though there's, like, millions of other content creators out there, all of which are probably better than me. Okay, maybe not all. Maybe, like, a lot of them. Like, a ton of them, you know? 9 million, what a specific number. You know, there's like, how many YouTube channels are there on YouTube? That's actually a good question. In all of YouTube, how many YouTube channels are there? It's gonna be crazy to think about. I mean, it can't just be accounts, it has to be people that, like, actually posted something at one point in time, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that would be the thing. I think, anyway. I'm not entirely too sure on that. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, I'm phasing back in. Don't worry, I'm waking up. Let's see. I've got another D&D session planned for this weekend with my friends. You know, still running Phandelver and Below. What an awesome time that'll be. We finally got that scheduled out, you know. Because we couldn't do it the week that, you know, I was out, because I'm the DM, so, you know. Anyway, that's going to be a fun time that's coming up. And recently I've been understanding more about D&D 5e, and also the new stuff in the Player's Handbook. Well, the new Player's Handbook, without actually, you know, buying it. And then, I'm understanding a lot more about Pathfinder 2e, because it's taking a bit of time. Also, Junpei is just amazing here for tanking that hit, for only having 1 HP left. That is such a lucky number to land on, really. To not die. What is the thing that I am thinking about right now? I don't know. I really don't know. Still gotta get some things done around the house, I guess, after I get done recording this, or recording my next episode, you know. Simple chores, you know, I'd like to clean up a little bit. It's actually been a little bit of a while here, and I should really clean that up. Yeah.
I'll take care of this. Go,
I'm thinking about running some D&D sessions in the future, like online, with some online groups of friends, rather than my, you know, back home group of friends, because it gives me something to do to pass the time, and frankly, I just want to continue on a hobby that I really enjoy, you know, especially if it's Dungeons & Dragons, right? Man. I'm kind of running out of things to talk about here. I mean, there was that new announcement trailer for all the Sonic stuff, and I don't know what was in that. I think it was just talking about Sonic and Shadow Generations. There might have been more, I don't know. I actually forgot to watch it before I, you know, did this. There was also the Monster Hunter announcement. That's pretty cool, you know, for Monster Hunter Wilds, I think it was. That's the new game. Was it Wilds? I'm pretty sure it was yeah, it's Wilds. And that's the first sneeze that has ever happened, I think. Wow. That is the first sneeze that's ever happened on Saturn's Edge. Wow. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm okay. But man, I did not expect to sneeze like that, especially at that time. But yeah, it is Monster Hunter Wilds. That got the announcement trailer. I saw a little bit of that. I thought that was really cool. I really did. That was cool.
Fair and square.
Alright,
Now, back to business.
I think, voice crack. I think what I'm gonna do next, though, that'd be a fun project.
down the stairs.
I don't want to talk about it yet because I really want to record it at some point. But I don't know how entertaining the gameplay would be, so I'm trying to play games similar to it and, like, trying to really figure out how it works. But me and my friends have something cooked up in case we wanted to do something a bit more long-term, kind of like Persona.
Yo, there's a shadow.
Wow. It's also a chance for us to really, like, play and mess around and really enjoy ourselves even a little bit.
Like fire will work great.
I gotta say this. Those beetles suck.
I'll take care of this.
Adamant beetles. They suck. And I'll explain why as we're going down the lineup of, like, everything it could possibly be weak to at any point in time. You know, if we just keep going like this, right? Just like, like, just keep hitting it with stuff, right? No. You wanna know something? Those beetles, they don't have a weakness at all. They cannot go down unless you get really lucky with a critical hit. The beetles cannot go down to any damage type unless you're getting a critical hit with a physical attack. It physically pains me. I hate these beetles because of this move. Gigantic Fist, 100 damage. I'm lucky it missed there.
Our leader.
And then to make its other move the attack up one.
That's just unfair.
And then to make it block piercing damage.
No. Can anyone help?
Absolutely insane. I swear, this game gets crazier every time I play it. Or every time I watch it, really. Anytime I do anything to interact with this game at all, it's just crazy to me, you know? That's really how it feels.
Thanks.
So, you could tell I'm still trying to get back into recording videos, because I'm, like, running out of stuff to talk about. I'm not exactly talking at the pace and the level that I usually do. And I'm just trying to find, like, things to work with here, you know? It's difficult, I'll admit. It's difficult to, like, come back after a week on vacation, not have, like, any live videos, and not have any recording or audio or whatever done in, like, a week. And then you have to get back into it, and it's, like, a whole thing, you know?
And that's a wrap, folks.
I love doing this, but sometimes it's like the second I put it off for even more than like 3 days, you're immediately like out of touch. It's so weird. It's so bizarre to me that like I could lose that much like progress, like specifically when it comes to this stuff, just because I was gone for a short time. Oh, new mechanic! Okay, good. We get to actually talk about this. Finally. It's at this floor. This floor that they start with time limits on each floor. Now, what's important to note is that this thing is called the Reaper. The place that we're in is Tartarus. This makes sense. But what does the Reaper do, you might ask? Well, the answer is simple. Kills you. Not instantly, you still have to be in a battle with him. But he will kill you, no doubt about it. I will eventually go face to face with the Reaper at some point, whenever I feel like I'm 100% ready to take him on, as he is one of the toughest enemies in the game that is not a boss. And I feel like, and well, for the sake of 100%ing the game and getting the achievement, but also for the sake of showing everyone, like, most likely what a full playthrough looks like, I have to do this.
On to the next.
I cannot fight him now at this state. But whenever I get, like, the perfect setup, like the thing that is meant specifically for him, and eventually build it up over time and figure it out, I will take him on. And oh boy, it's gonna suck. The Reaper is an interesting mechanic because now starting at this floor, we have a time limit that's hidden. This time limit is on every single floor and resets as you go up each flight of stairs. He cannot appear on certain floors at all, which are like the checkpoint floors, and that's it. Whenever the timer goes off, you know, there will be a thing showing that he exists, or, you know, some sort of audio cue, cutscene, like something that will happen, and he will show up. And it's gonna suck. At this early of a level, especially early game, it is in your best interest that you run and go to the next floor to reset the timer. Battles pause the timer, so you can be in battles as long as you need. You just can't be on the same floor of Tartarus for as long as you think you might, like, be on it. This is why I'm exploring everything quickly and very efficiently. Barely entering certain rooms that don't have anything for me. Only hitting certain, like, those, like, rocks and stuff just to get materials. Opening every treasure chest I see, fighting one of every enemy on every floor instead of sticking around a floor and grinding. Like, I'm specifically doing things that would make sense, especially for a hidden time limit, to pop up. You're gonna see a lot of these mannerisms carry over into the future of this game. I'm glad that that event showed up to talk about, like, hey, the Reaper is a thing that exists and you should watch out for him. I'm glad it popped up because I genuinely... Not only did I have, like, did I want to talk about something, like, in-game for once, but also it's nice that finally I can talk about it. Especially something as pivotal, not pivotal. Well, kind of. Something as kind of important as a hidden timer. Something as notable and, like, memorable as the threat of the Reaper. That's important to me. I love the fact that it showed up right at the right time. Oh, man. I guess now I could talk about whatever else I feel like talking about. So I've talked a bit about, like, tabletop role-playing games. And, you know, you've heard me. I talked about it earlier this episode, okay? My history with them is that I started out with Pathfinder 1st Edition, and I loved it. I genuinely loved it, even though I couldn't fully grasp that it actually wasn't real D&D. But, to me, Pathfinder still holds a place in my heart, and I'll talk about it a bit more in just a minute. After switching from Pathfinder 1st Edition to D&D 5e for the most part, I enjoyed that for years, and I still do. But I also want to learn some new systems, like Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or Starfinder, and eventually Starfinder 2nd Edition, whenever that comes out. But also, David, who holds an interest in tabletop role-playing games, just a bit, he has been learning Mutants and Masterminds, which is like a superhero tabletop role-playing game. And I'm interested in learning it too. And he is planning on, well, not DMing, because technically that's the wrong term, it'd be GMing, game mastering.
Let's see.
He would be the game master, not the dungeon master, as typically put in in Dungeons and Dragons. Anyway, as the game master, he would be running the superhero campaign that he's come up with, and I'm 100% down to learn it and get involved with it.
The enemy seems impenetrable.
Really, overall, tabletop role-playing games are so cool to me in the way that they work, where, like, the rules are kind of secondary to player imagination. You know, like, everything is, like, it's not real, you know? Obviously it isn't, but like, it's not a real, it's not, you have to like pay for physical proof of something, you just play, you know? I like owning the books, I like owning the minis, I like owning like tabletop maps because that does make things easier. And in the case of the books, it has the actual rules. But for the most part, I mean, you could play without them and it's just fun. The reason why Pathfinder holds a place in my heart, not just as my first, but as like kind of an interesting thing. Pathfinder 1st Edition was based off of D&D 3.5e, and I never played 3.5e in my life. It is important to note that, okay? But Pathfinder 1st Edition, I mean, looking at the rulebooks, the core rulebook, it knew how to kill you. Like, it told you from level 1 you were weak. And it had all these, like, interesting little things in it. I liked learning them, you know? I really did. So, whenever I started my tabletop role-playing game adventures, I actually started playing with my older sister, who got into Pathfinder, right? She eventually dropped that, switched to D&D 5e, right? But my friends and I invited my friends, and my dad was DMing for us. I invited, like, a couple of my friends, okay? I invited David and another friend. I mean, I don't know if he'd ever want me to mention his name on this channel at all, but, like, pretty much, like, to put it simply, like, these two guys, David and David and my other friend were, like, literally my two closest friends, like, as close as you can get, right? We were like an inseparable trio, especially when it came to the table.
That's a one-way teleport.
We were playing, like, all sorts of shit together, really. So, when it came to Pathfinder 1st Edition, and when my dad DM'd that homebrew campaign, we didn't have a clue what was going on. My dad isn't perfect with math, so it was kind of, like, up in the air, right? But you know what it was? It was still fun. It was so fun to look back on. And I look back on it and I think, wow, we did so many things wrong, but damn, that was a fun time. I look back on that and I go, I wish I could do something like that. Exactly like that again. Because, man, it was beautiful, you know? Any future campaigns I have played, any future adventures and stuff like that I've played with other groups and other people and other whatever, right? I think they're all amazing, okay? But we're so close to that first time. And it could mean nostalgia just, you know, peeking in, right? To just, like, ruin things, you know, to, like, really, like, give it that edge over everything else. But, like, man, you know, all of these campaigns were amazing, but that first one, that very first one, with just David and my other friend, that was amazing. Eventually, we talked about our adventures with, you know, the rest of my friends, right? The rest of our friends, I should say. Ours, way more preferred. Anyway, we started talking more with them, and they were interested too. So, you know, they joined, and we were all playing together until, like, you know, we were all getting into it, right? We effectively caused, like, a surge in, like, this tabletop role-playing game, like mini craze that was happening, you know? Everyone at our school, like, I'm not saying, like, oh yeah, everyone at our school played it, you know? It was more like the fact that, like, we had a really good group of friends that was, like, a large size that were playing this game actively, you know? And it wasn't just, you know, Pathfinder, you know, eventually we got more to switch over to D&D 5e first, and then eventually I switched over. But man, you know? Like, that's insane to me. That first campaign, and, you know, anything that we did after that, and everything that we've done, really, any campaigns we've played, they all hold a special place in my heart, because, man, those were adventures I'm never gonna forget, you know? Even the ones that don't seem as memorable, I don't forget them. I have most of my old character sheets, actually.
Hey, let's loot
There's only one I don't have, but I could easily remake him. You know?
There's a shadow.
The best part about it is that, you know, David and my other close friend, you know, we still keep in contact and all that, but, like, before eventually I moved to this new city about a year ago, during the gap year I had, after high school, between what I would do next and graduation, David and my friend, well, my friend was the one DMing, but we decided to play Spelljammer, which is the D&D 5e, well, originally 3rd edition, I think? Point is, it takes place in the Astral Sea, and it was kind of like our own, like, homebrew little adventure, where instead of, like, you know, doing fantasy things, now we're doing fantasy things in the Astral Sea. We're sailing pirate ships through space, you know? We're doing all these cool things, like visiting planets and, like, realms and such, right? That was cool to me, and it still is. And I'm sad that, like, after I moved, it kind of seemed like that campaign was just put on ice, because I'd really love to play another session of that. I had a great character for that, David had a great character for it. We had a whole entourage that, like, our friend created, and all of them were genuinely interesting and fun characters to play off of, you know? Especially, not just in combat, but, like, for utility, for, like, you know, basic pirate things, right? It was so cool. It really was.
Oh, there's a treasure chest.
Someday, I'm gonna do everyone in that campaign, and everyone in any campaign I've really played. I'm gonna do them some justice, because, man, I need to talk about these more. I eventually want to do speed paints for player characters I've made, or characters that my friends have made, and talk about their D&D stories while the speed paint happens. Potentially interviewing them as well, kind of live too. I really want to, like, just have fun with it, you know? I really do. To me, like, tabletop role-playing, like, it just has, like, that place in my heart, because it's, like, it's what, I don't know. It's the activity me and my friends, like, shared, right? We shared, we enjoyed it, and we talked about it. We still talk about it to this day. We still work with it to this day. We're all doing fun things. The one friend that DM'd Spelljammer and was on us for our first campaign ever, yeah, he decided to go, like, he's interested in this kaiju supplement that was on Kickstarter. What was that? I forgot what it was. What was it called?
Just kidding.
Kaiju D&D. Man, what was it? Ryoko's Guide to the Yokai Realms. That one. Ryoko's Guide. He got that, and he's about to get it soon, and I'm gonna be getting my stuff soon for Crooked Moon, which was by Legends of Evantris. Like, I'm pumped, you know? We're both pumped for these things, and we're talking about them, we're learning about them, we're taking the time to, like, playtest each other's materials on our own, you know? D&D, Pathfinder, all these tabletop role-playing games, it symbolizes friendship, and it symbolizes, like, having fun as just a group of friends, you know? The second we hit the table, the second the dice are rolling, the second that we're role-playing, there's no real problems in life. There's just playing the game, you know? Having fun with it, enjoying yourself. Doing something you couldn't do at any point in time in real life, you know? That was what it was. But doing that with your friends, with people that you're close to, that meant something. I love it. I know I'm getting nostalgic and talking about something that is literally anything but Persona, but, you know, I gotta find a way to fill time, and I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about the time I spent with my friends. I'm passionate about, like, all the stuff. I'm passionate about stuff. There you go. I could definitely use words. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This golden hand is surrounded by, well, not treasure. This treasure hand is surrounded by 4 other hands, and so I have to knock out every hand. Man. And, you know, my path with, you know, all tabletop role-playing games, specifically D&D. I'll simplify it down to just Dungeons & Dragons, D&D. My love for it wasn't just like, oh yeah, you know, my friends were there. My love for it was like learning about all the new stuff that came out, learning about the rules, the classes, the subclasses, the little intricate details, right? I'm not a rules lawyer, and I don't know everything about the game, but damn, I'll try. I'll try. I loved buying dice sets, especially because the dice looked cool, you know? That's just natural. And then, you know, there's minis, there's one-shots, there's little adventures, little, like, accessories, too.
Oh, pretty well.
I liked painting, I like painting my own miniatures. Like, this was the level I got to. I got to a level where I was buying miniatures and paints, and actually painting them, like, with decent production quality. Like, I love it.
This would be a fight worth our while.
Even if I wouldn't end up ever using that mini for anything, I still enjoyed doing that stuff.
Nice work.
There we go.
I've got it.
Now's the time. Some fun. Persona.
Let's see, wow. I mean, you know, it's a thing I like. And, you know, I have a couple other, you know, tabletop role-playing game books as well. I actually picked up the ones that they made for, Konosuba and, Goblin Slayer, oddly enough. I'll be real, those rulebooks aren't great, in terms of anything. They're kind of bare bones and basic. But I kind of love reading through them, because it's, like, kind of interesting to see, because, like, oh yeah, you know, this is where this came from, and this is how they did this in this anime or manga, you know? I like those sorts of ones, but also, like, I don't know, D&D and Pathfinder and Starfinder and Mutants and Masterminds and all these other systems, right, are just interesting. They're fun, you know? I think I might pick up the Root tabletop role-playing game system at some point, because Root was a board game I genuinely loved. Like, I love it a lot, you know? Played it with my friends online, showed it to my dad, played it with my dad, like, in-person physical board game, right? Like, I love it. But I wouldn't mind picking up the rulebook for the tabletop role-playing game for Root, because damn, that's cool. Huh. Odd.
That's our leader.
Wow, I finally finished that Coke throughout the episode. That's nice. Still kind of sound a little bit weird.
It didn't work?
There we go. Whew, fixed it. One thing that I'll admit is I have trouble with when it comes to D&D. It's coming up with homebrew. It really is. Like, I can do it, but I also, like, constantly balance it out, and I try to figure out ways to balance it out, and it's very stressful for me. That's just being honest there. It's kind of stressful. But I do enjoy the adventure paths that Paizo and Wizards of the Coast put out for, well, for, you know, their respective systems. I'll admit, Phandelver and Below has been great so far. I think it's a genuinely good adventure, so far anyway. Waterdeep Dragon Heist, I've read through that, and I'm kinda worried about running it. And same with Dungeon the Mad Mage. I'm gonna be real, that one I'm nervous about running too. Vecna, what is it?
Alright,
Was it Eve of Ruin? Or Eye of Ruin?
Hey, let's
think it
load
was-
that chest.
Eve? No, Eye. What was it? Yeah, Eve of Ruin. There we go. Yeah, I can't remember the name because it always looks like a Y to me. I don't know why. I don't know B? Nah, whatever. Point is, that one looks really fun to run, and I've got kind of a special idea coming up for that one. And then you have all the Pathfinder adventures, which are just fun too. You know, fun looking anyway. I have no idea what they're actually like, and frankly, I still need to learn them, because I heard there is a lot of weird going on in that.
I'll go with.
I do like the idea that, like, oh yeah, you know, we release one book every month, and the book goes to an adventure path, and you get to enjoy it, like, kind of at your pace. But if you finish the book before the next month, now you have next month, you have next month's book to play with, you know?
Let's see.
Then again, I can see how it's hard setting it up, because you need a really consistent group for that. You probably have to play, like, once every weekend, which, to be real, doesn't seem impossible, but it's a bit difficult. I wonder what other adventure I should pick up at some point. I'm thinking, like, ooh, Tyranny of Dragons would be a good one. Maybe Dragonlance. I really enjoyed playing Dragonlance, but running it, that might be a different story. That'd be interesting there.
Nice.
Let's see. There isn't much else to talk about other than, you know, just like, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to share what I'm passionate about with you, with all of you, really.
It's your call.
Especially if something is kind of, I don't know, spontaneous as talking about Dungeons and Dragons for, like, the 4th time. But, you know, it's fun to me, and I'll probably just, you know, save myself some time for next episode, right? You know, just not talk about D&D next episode. We'll talk about something, like, different and new and whatever else. But, you know, that's just how it goes.
What's the plan?
Let's see, what was I thinking? Oh yeah. This episode is, coming to a close pretty soon here. But, you know, I just wanted to take some time here, and, well, once again, I want to say thank you for, you know, watching through the week I'm gone, if you did that, you know, watching through all of that, or some of it, or even one of it, I don't care. Thank you for watching through that. Thank you for coming back for more, you know, especially for Persona, something I haven't played in a while. But, you know, thank you for sticking around with me. I've been Eire with Saturn's Edge, and, hey, I'll see y'all in the next episode, okay? Bye!